In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the trades that I took this week in my new prop firm trading account. And on top of that, I'm going to be giving a tour of the prop firm trading account that I just signed up with and I'm taking a 14-day trial with. And finally, I'm going to be discussing a brand new trading strategy that I'm using in my trading to do an opening range breakout. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, stick around and I'll be sharing all the details with you. All right, let's get started. So in today's video, I want to first start out with just a quick thing real quick here. Had a lot of interest on this last video I did here talking about my VWAP trading strategy. It was great. And then also, if you want to sign up and become more of the part of the community, definitely subscribe and hit those notifications because anything helps to grow the channel here as I start working and sharing my trades with you. So starting off, I didn't get a chance to do any of the trades that I wanted to share. I had some really great trades, in fact, this week, but I also had some really bad trades that didn't really help me out. But I'll be getting into all that, so definitely stick around. We'll be sharing all that. So let's get into my trades. Well, how did it go today? Well, let's look at the numbers basically. Overall, my calendar looks like this. I had a really good trade on Monday, a super good trade. One big trade, $106.98 right off the bat. It was a really good trade. I faded the edges on the VWAP bands as it came down. I shorted it and I got $106.98. I was on a pretty good mood on Monday, and then Tuesday came, and guess what? $81 lost. And I thought, what the heck? What did I do? And I think what happened there was I basically took a trade where I tried to fade the edges kind of like I did the day before. But guess what? The market was different on Tuesday. The market was more in a bullish state and it was more in price discovery, meaning that the prices were going up. And that's where I should have been focusing on. I shouldn't have been shorting, which is what I was doing. And then on Wednesday, I did exactly the same thing. I shorted again and lost. But then comes Thursday. I took the trade a little bit different. I kind of sat back. I watched the trades. And as I did the trade, guess what? I found that trade, that really good trade I know works. And I got in and made $53. And I went long from the VWAP band all the way up to VWAP, got quick $53 in about 5 minutes and did really good. And then comes Friday. Friday did not work out very well for me at all. I know some traders like to show just the good trades they do. I'm showing you the good, I'm showing you the bad. This week was a very frustrating week for me overall. And I lost this money right here, 123.47, just took 4 terrible trades. I should have stopped. I shouldn't really took any trades, but even if I just took 2 trades, I probably only lost $60 versus $123. So, things learned. You gotta step back and you gotta slow down, I think, with trading, not trying to just take a bunch of trades. You want to wait for that perfect setup. I tell myself that all the time. When some weeks it just don't work out. And I lost $128.49 this week. So lessons learned. We're moving on. We're just kind of put this week behind us. It's the end of the month. It's okay. We're still overall at a green month, $129.25. I still got 2 days to trade. I think if I just take it slow starting out next week, I'm just going to ease into it. Hopefully I can get some really good trades and bump this back up. Overall, it's been a good month. I'm still not complaining. It's, 5 red days and the rest are all green days. So can't complain. So there you go. That's my trading week overall. But I did start trading in a new platform, and I want to talk about that today, and that is Trade the Pool. So one of the things that I want to do overall with my plan is I want to get involved with trading with prop firms. Now, if you're not familiar with what prop firms are, this is basically a way to do limited risk trading. So what this allows you to do is, so if you want to trade with higher capital, and a lot of people, that's the problem. They want to trade with larger amounts of capital, but they just don't have it available to them. So prop firms is a solution that allows you to do that. What you do is you go in and you have to do what's called an evaluation. An evaluation is basically proving to the prop firm that you can trade money with them. So you have to hit certain requirements. Like for example, with Trade the Pool, you have to hit a 6% target and you have to average at least and maintain a 50% consistency rule, meaning you can't lose more than 50% of the time of your trades. So if you get above 50, you're good. And you can get 6% return. Guess what? Now you can get approved for an actual trading account. So you can do something as small as, say, a $5,000 account, or you can get as high as a $200,000 account to trade with. And this allows you to trade with higher amounts of capital and earn 70% of the actual earnings that you get. So if you get, say, a $200,000 account and you get 10% return on that account, and then you get 70% of that. So 10,000, 200,000, you get $14,000 as a reward. That's a pretty big deal and a way to trade these capitals. And what's great about it is, let's say you pay a $200,000 account. I think it's like $1,500. If you pay $1,500 into it, and let's say you get in there and you lose a drawdown, let's say 50%, you lose half of the money, $100,000. Well, if you were trading your own capital, you would be out $100,000. But with a prop firm, you're only out the $1,500. You're not out the $100,000. And that's the benefit of trading with prop firms. You don't have all the risk. You just have to buy the account, do the eval, pass the eval, and then you can trade with their money. And then once you qualify for a payout, then you can get a payout and you get 70% of the money. And that's a really good deal. Especially if you're not sure if you can trade in your own account. Now, eventually, I personally want to trade my own account, but prop firms are a great way to raise that money to help put it towards trading my own account at some point. So definitely really good. Now, trade the pool overall, I'm not as impressed with their platform overall. I think it's okay. I probably give it a 6 out of 10. Specifically for a couple of things. I'm not a big fan of their charting. It's just kind of generic. It's not as good as definitely like TradingView. Weeble's kind of a step down from TradingView. I think TradingView, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 overall. Webull, I would give it a good 8 out of 10. And then this, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 at best. There was a couple of things I didn't like. Number one, the charting, and number two, I usually like to use the VWAP bands. It does not have that indicator in this, so not a big fan of it for that reason. But I do have my watch list here, and I can add other things. So I do have my working orders, filled orders, and positions. I always like to see those things when I'm taking those trades. And then you can add other stuff. For example, you can add more charting, you can add grids, you can add order history and all these kinds of things, scalping and grid and time and sales, market depth, so you can see your level 2 data and all that kind of stuff, which is all fine. They have that all available here. You can do that. You can even get their live stream when Trade the Pool is actually doing a live stream. You can have that going while you're doing this as well. So and it's great because it's a 14-day free trial. So if you want to sign up, you can get a 14-day free trial. I have a link in the description below. It's my affiliate link. So if you do decide to buy, get into it, and then you trade with it, I could possibly earn a commission with it. But it's definitely worth it to try it because I think you will find that you can trade here and not have as much of the risk. So I like it. It's great. I just don't like the platform as much. Overall, I'm looking at the charting over here on Webull, and then I go back to over here to the order entry window, place in my shares, and then hit the buy, and then take the order that way. So I'm not really using the charting and all that much. I'm just using Webull for most of that, so using it that way. So overall, that's what I'm doing there. So Trade the Pool, definitely it's a 6 out of 10, but as far as the whole thing goes, there's definitely a good value proposition here. So if you're interested in getting into this, definitely check out the link below. All right, so last thing today, I want to talk about getting into a new trading strategy. So overall, I talked about VWAP and all that. I think VWAP's a good trading strategy with Chris Drysdale's plan. If you'd like to learn more about him, he is over here on YouTube as well. I like his YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. Subscribe, check him out. Get his he has a sign up and you can get his trading plan. I do have that. I showed that last week, so you can check out last week's video. Definitely got some good stuff there. I like what he trades there. The other person I'm also following is Tori Trades. This is a trading plan that I like as well, and this is one I was trading before VWAP. And it does work good, but it has one major flaw I do want to talk about. But so what her trading strategy is, using nothing but trend lines. So she don't use RSI. She does not use MACD. She don't even use VWAP. She doesn't put any indicators on her. The only thing she does is she draws trend lines showing basically how the price is trending. And then when a trend breaks, she'll do what's called a 3-point or a 2-point trend line breakout strategy. Now, if you want to see her entire strategy, how it works and how all of her stuff works together, you can definitely do that by going to her YouTube channel. I'll put a link to her channel in the description along with Chris's as well. So, but she does have a complete full guide here on how her entire strategy works. So if you're interested in following her strategy, you can definitely do that here. So definitely recommend checking it out. So I want to give you just a little bit of an overview of how it works. So for example, this is NVIDIA. So the way it works is you do what's called a top-down analysis strategy. So you'll start at the top of a chart. So you'll start in a monthly chart and you'll start to mark from the very lowest point, basically going up. So I started all the way back here and I drew this trend line first. Now this is a 2-point trend line because it was this point and this point. And then from this point, I could draw another trend line. I could go from here to there. And then from that point, you can see that this trend line is actually a very valid trend line. It's a 3-point trend line because it hits here, it hits here, it hits here, it hits here. This is like a 5-6 point trend line. So very valid trend line. And then from here, we got another point from here to here. This is a 3-point trend line. And then we got another one coming in here. Now this one looks like it's going straight down, but we have to get into the lower time frames down to my 5-minute time frame to get to that point. So for example, we go down from there, we go to a weekly time frame. And this is what it looks like from there. We can hit more points. We adjust our lines to hit the points a little tighter. We go to the daily time frame. Okay, so the daily time frame. Now these don't match up because when we get to the 5-minute, you'll see that it lines up a lot better. We get down to from there, we go to a 1-hour time frame. From there to a 30-minute, and then we do an actual 5-minute time frame. That's where I typically trade. A lot of my trading at is a 5-minute time frame. I feel like that's where a lot of day traders are at, and that's where I spend a lot of my time at. So you can see here that this lines up. This is a 3-point trend line right here. So if this was to able to break this line and it was to hold, and then I would probably be in for a buy, and we would have to probably retest this high right here. So we probably, whatever that would be. So let's say if we got in right in here at 193, just under 194, and came all the way up to 19, that would be about a 1.5 to 2-point trade, probably right in there. That'd be a really nice trade. Now, there's more to it than just the trend lines. But I recommend checking out her entire video. It's way more than I can explain here. I'm just going to point you to the people and let them do the explaining because I don't think I could do it justice in any way. So overall, I feel like it's a solid strategy, but I definitely do recommend you check out her YouTube channel and sign up and subscribe. I think she's got a lot of value there. So overall, that's everything for this week. Hopefully next week trading will be a lot better. It'll be a new month and we'll be on new things. So hopefully things are going to be up and good here. But right now, overall, just trading. I'm going to be one more week in the Trade to Pool 14-day trial. If you want to sign up for that, again, the link is below. Go check it out. Sign up, do their 14-day trial, try out their platform, see how it works. And you can start trading just like me. So hopefully everything was, you like everything here, want to subscribe, hit those notifications, and I will see you in the next video.